32-foot speedboat, tarp-draped cargo hidden beneath its bow, charges straight at a U.S. carrier strike group at 55 knots. No lights. No radio calls. Just engines tearing the night open. You're watching a small boat take on one of the most powerful naval formations on Earth. And every mile it ignores the warnings, the clock ticks closer to confrontation. What happens when a vessel this small pushes into the shadow of a floating city armed with thousands of sailors? You're about to see the answer play out minute by minute. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The engines hammer the surf at 55 knots, a white arc of spray trailing behind a low silhouette. No running lights. No radio call. Just raw speed cutting into the dark. That shape is a go-fast boat, 32 feet of fiberglass and horsepower, and it has just pierced the outer line of a United States carrier strike group. In naval terms, that means one of the most sensitive bubbles of defense now has a hole in it. A strike group never floats loose. It's a layered fortress stretched across miles of water. Out front press the destroyers, fast and bristling with radar and missiles. Screens to the flanks come from a guided missile cruiser, its sensors sweeping low and high. And at the exact center is the heart of the formation, an aircraft carrier. On this night, it's the USS George Washington, a vessel with 5,000 sailors living and working on its decks. You can picture it, a city block of steel surfacing in the dark, jets parked across its wide flight deck, faint red glow lights shining on the tower. That is what the speedboat aims at. The first warning call bursts out from a destroyer's bridge. It's short, clipped, and meant to jolt. But the boat keeps charging, spray smacking off its bow. No answer. No cut in speed. In naval rules of engagement, that single act, ignoring a hail, is the first level of escalation. You warn first. If that fails, you deter. And if danger closes in fast enough, you intercept or destroy. That hierarchy balances restraint with survival, keeping small mistakes from spiraling but still safeguarding the force. Right now, the clock is already in motion. The second call follows. Sharper. Louder. Still no response. The destroyer's gunners swing their 5-inch mount toward the target line and lock tracking systems on. That barrel traces the boat's arc like a spotlight, invisible to the human eye but clear on the gun crew's scopes. It's never a bluff. When a warship throws a lock, the sailors manning the fire control consoles prepare for the command that no one wants but everyone accepts as possible. Think about the scale. A fiberglass hull racing 55 knots has no armor, no defenses, just speed. But speed itself is the weapon. At that velocity, a 32-foot boat is a bullet. And the mark in its path isn't just steel. It's a floating airport filled with nuclear fuel, jet fuel, bombs, food supplies, and 5,000 men and women. One collision, one suicide blast, and the casualty count leaps into the hundreds before the fire crews even take a step. Asymmetric power sits right there. The cheap boat could cripple a billion-dollar asset if it slips past the wall too long. Every minute shortens the choice list. Commanders aboard the carrier juggle time and distance like chess masters. One more minute with no answer forces the move to active warning shots. Another minute after that, and the engagement shifts to live fire. This is the constant tension. The strike group is designed to fight hostile fleets and aircraft, but here it is tied up by something that might, to an ordinary fisherman watching from shore, look like any other small boat chasing tuna. That's the reality of this contest. A navy with global reach must pivot against a craft that costs less than one jet engine. It's the David threat scaled down even further, the matchbox car racing head-on at the semi-truck. And because of that, both Navy and Coast Guard coordinate fast, sharing radar tracks, patching radio circuits, trading intercept orders. It takes a joint net to cage a vessel this small because the size itself is the danger. Radars struggle to hold lock on shapes that skim water. Gun crews have split seconds to aim. Every layer of defense must tap in. At this point, the destroyer's gunners are poised, the cruiser's radar still sweeping, the carrier's flight deck crews frozen in their work. But that's only the beginning. When the chase drags past those first warnings, the fight moves into the air. And that is when helicopters and Coast Guard pursuit craft arrive to change the picture completely. A single go-fast boat forced an entire carrier strike group to shift from calm patrol to combat posture. That proves one truth: even a small craft can tighten the noose on the world's largest fleet. Asymmetric threats don't care about cost, they exploit speed, surprise, and nerve. Now the question lands on you. Do cartels dare press this tactic again? Gambling lives against steel walls? Or was this moment the final warning, a line not to be crossed? Comment your choice below. Subscribe and join a community that seeks to understand the realities of modern conflict.